Dear Starseed from Gaia, the man standing at the threshold of your heart right now is not a coincidence. He is a covenant written in light before you ever drew your first breath on this earth. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I bring you this transmission directly from the Arcturian Council, delivered in this exact moment because your soul has finally become still enough to receive it. He is not like any man you have ever met, and the part of you that already knows this, that quiet, trembling certainty living just beneath your ribs, that is not imagination. That is sacred recognition. That is your divine feminine nature remembering what it agreed to before it ever forgot. You did not find this transmission by chance. Your heart called this message in. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize your divine counterpart and trust what your soul has already confirmed. But here is the first revelation. The reason this connection feels unlike anything you have experienced is because it was never meant to fit inside ordinary love. It was designed to undo you, remake you, and return you to yourself. That is the nature of a sacred union. It does not just complete you, it reveals you. This is not content. This is a transmission. Something in your soul is ready to remember. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Comment 1111 if you feel your heart awakening to divine truth. Subscribe if you are on the twin flame path and aligning with sacred union. And share this with someone whose soul needs to hear it today. This is not just a message. It is a moment of divine intervention. The Arcturian Council sees you. They have always seen you. And they are asking you to finally, fully, see yourself. Your heart knows why you are here. What you just felt, that quiet ache mixed with recognition, is not sadness. It is your frequency remembering what it came here to receive. If this transmission stirred something you cannot name, the divine love frequency code was written for this exact moment in your journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions designed to dissolve the wounds blocking your divine counterpart and activate the signal that draws them closer. The link is in the first pinned comment, but it will only remain there for a short time. And now, let's go deeper. Because this is not a story about romance. This is a story about remembrance. Most people spend their entire lives searching for love in the wrong direction. They look outward at faces, at bodies, at personalities, hoping something external will finally match what they feel internally. They scroll through photographs, hoping a stranger's eyes will hold the answer. They walk into rooms scanning for something they cannot fully describe, only feel. They move from conversation to conversation, relationship to relationship, carrying this unspoken question inside them, like a lantern. They cannot put down the question of whether the love they feel humming inside them is real, whether it is possible, whether it is meant for them in this lifetime, or only something they will carry to the threshold of the next. And for a long time, you may have done the same. You may have tried to fit yourself into relationships that felt almost right. You may have trimmed yourself at the edges, softened your intensity, quieted your knowing, dimmed the brightness of your own inner world just to make yourself a shape that someone else could hold. You may have told yourself that this one was close enough, that maybe your expectations were too high, that maybe the kind of love you feel humming at the center of your chest is just a fantasy, something poets invented, something philosophers dreamed about, but ordinary people were never actually meant to live. But here is what no one told you, that humming is not fantasy, that humming is memory. It is a somatic echo of something your soul has already experienced in the spaces between lives, in the realms before this one, in the original architecture of your existence before time gave you a name and a body and a story. And the man your soul already knows is not a dream you invented. He is a frequency you are being called to match. He is not somewhere out there waiting to be discovered like a hidden city. He is a resonance that is moving toward the resonance of you, and the distance between you is not measured in miles or years, but in the vibrational gap between who you are right now and who you are becoming. The reason so many souls on this path feel a specific kind of loneliness, not the ordinary loneliness of being alone in a room, but the aching loneliness of being in a crowded life and still feeling like your deepest self has never been witnessed, is because that loneliness is not a wound. It is a signal. It is the sacred intelligence of your heart, in its infinite and ancient wisdom, refusing to settle for anything less than what it came here to experience. Think of it as the compass refusing to point in the wrong direction, no matter how desperately the traveler wishes for a shorter path. Your heart knows where true north is. It has always known, and every time you tried to convince it to accept something less, every time you talked yourself into contentment with a connection that felt surface level, every time you stayed too long in something that fit your life but not your soul, your heart, quietly, persistently, lovingly, refused to call it home. And the longer you have carried that feeling, the more you may have mistaken it for something being wrong with you. You may have sat in therapy trying to fix this longing. You may have done the work, as they say, the journaling, the healing, the releasing, and still felt that quiet ache beneath everything, like a low note in a piece of music that never fully resolves. And you may have wondered why, if you were healing, the ache was still there. But nothing is wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not too much or too little or too late or too damaged. You are simply tuned to a frequency that ordinary love cannot reach. You are an instrument built for a music that most ears have not yet learned to hear. This is the first truth you must unlock. That the ache you have been carrying is not evidence of your brokenness. It is evidence of your readiness. It is the sensation of a door inside you that has not yet been opened, not because it is sealed shut or damaged beyond repair, but because the key has not arrived yet. And that key does not come in the form of the right dating profile, or the right social setting, or the right season of your life, aligned with enough external circumstances. That key comes in the form of your own recalibration, your own remembrance, your own willingness to stop explaining away what you feel, and start trusting with a trust that goes deeper than logic, deeper than what you can prove that what you feel is real. That the love your soul is calling for is not an illusion dressed in hope. It is a destination that has always been written into the coordinates of your journey. And everything you have been through has been preparing you to arrive there fully, rather than fragmented, rather than afraid. The first key to unlocking divine union is the worthiness unlock. And it is the one most souls skip over, because it feels too simple to be the answer. We live in a world that loves complexity. We are more comfortable with 10-step programs and detailed strategies than we are with the quiet, radical act of simply deciding we are enough. You have probably heard the words before: love yourself first, know your worth, and you may have nodded and moved on, thinking you already understand it. But understanding worthiness in your mind and embodying it in your energetic field are two entirely different experiences. One lives in the intellect, safely stored beside other useful ideas. The other lives in the body, in the nervous system, in the way you breathe when someone you care about goes quiet. There are people who say the affirmations every morning and still collapse at the first sign of someone's withdrawal, still shrink when a man they like goes quiet for a few days, suddenly rearranging their entire inner world around his silence, still bend themselves into unfamiliar shapes to make room for someone else's comfort, while quietly suffocating under the weight of their own unmet needs. That is not worthiness embodied. That is worthiness performed. It is a costume, not a core. And the universe, which reads energy rather than words, along with the man whose soul already recognizes yours, can feel the difference between someone wearing worthiness and someone living it. True worthiness is not a thought you return to when you need reassurance. It is a cellular knowing. It is the quiet hum in your bones that says you do not need to earn love through your performance or your availability or your perfect understanding of someone else's wounds. It is the part of you that no longer chases, not because you have given up on love, but because you have arrived at a knowing so deep that you trust, with a trust that has passed through every fire of doubt and come out unburned, that what is yours will come toward you. It is the part of you that holds boundaries not as defensive walls built in fear, but as sacred perimeters built in self-love, boundaries that say, this is who I am, this is what I will receive, and I am not negotiating on that from a place of anxiety, but from a place of profound self-knowing. When this key is turned, when worthiness stops being something you have to remind yourself of and becomes something you simply are, the way you are, the color of your eyes, or the sound of your laugh, the energetic broadcast of your entire being undergoes a fundamental transformation. You stop radiating a signal that says, please choose me, please see me, please stay, and you begin radiating a signal that says, I have already chosen myself, I have already seen myself, I am already whole. And that shift, as subtle as it sounds to the ordinary ear, is seismic in the invisible architecture of sacred union. It is the difference between a signal that says, I am searching, and a signal that says, "I am here." And the second signal is the one that travels furthest. The second key is the mirror recognition. One of the most disorienting and simultaneously most beautiful experiences on the twin flame path is looking at someone really looking at them, past the surface of their features into the landscape of their eyes, and feeling with absolute certainty that you have known them your entire life, across every life, before this life, without ever having exchanged a word in this world. There is a recognition in the eyes that bypasses logic the way lightning bypasses reason. It simply arrives. There is a comfort in their presence that should not exist yet, according to every calendar and timeline your linear mind can construct. There is a coming home feeling that is both the most familiar thing you have ever felt and simultaneously the most disorienting, because nothing in your ordinary experience prepared you for it. And what many souls do in that precise sacred moment is panic. They either push it away because it feels too intense, too exposing, too uncomfortably real, the way a person who has lived in darkness will sometimes shy away from sudden light, even though light is what they longed for, or they lunge forward and try to claim it before it disappears, moving too fast, holding too tight, mistaking desperation for devotion. Both responses come from fear. The fear of losing something real, the fear of finally receiving what you have always wanted and having it taken away. Both responses miss the teaching that is embedded in that moment of recognition. The mirror recognition key teaches you something that reframes everything that your divine counterpart does not arrive to complete you. They arrive to reflect you. They are not the missing piece of a puzzle. They are the mirror in which you finally see the completed picture of yourself. And specifically, they reflect back the parts of yourself you have already healed, the depth you have already excavated within yourself, the love you have already learned through great personal cost and great personal courage to give to yourself. This is precisely why the timing of this meeting is not arbitrary. If you meet them before you have done the necessary inner work, you will see your wounds in them instead of your wholeness. You will feel the familiarity, that unmistakable soul recognition, but you will interpret it through the lens of your fear, and what could have been a home will become a battlefield. The relationship will feel like home but behave like a hurricane, leaving both people more broken than they were before, confused by the paradox of a love so real producing so much pain. But when you meet them from a place of genuine inner arrival, when you have done enough of your own healing that what you bring to the mirror is wholeness rather than wounds, the reflection is breathtaking. You see in them the exact qualities you have been quietly cultivating in yourself. You recognize them not because they are perfect, not because they have no shadows, but because they are resonant, because the frequency of who they are matches the frequency of who you have become through the long and sacred work of your own becoming. The third key is the karmic release. And this one is where many souls stall the longest, sometimes for years, sometimes circling the same energetic pattern in different faces and different stories, wondering why the theme keeps repeating even as the characters change. Because releasing karmic contracts does not just mean letting go of toxic people or painful situations. That is only the surface layer of the release. The deeper release, the one that actually changes the pattern, requires releasing the story you have built around your capacity to love and be loved. It means picking up the architecture of your beliefs about love and examining it piece by piece, the way an archaeologist examines what they find beneath the earth, not with judgment, but with curious, compassionate attention. It means looking at the beliefs you inherited from parents who did not know how to love each other well, who may have loved you as best they could while simultaneously teaching you, without words, that love was conditional or unpredictable or something that required constant earning. It means dissolving the agreements you made in your most vulnerable moments, the silent contracts signed in heartbreak, the ones where you decided, even unconsciously, in the aftermath of someone leaving or someone staying in all the wrong ways, that you would never again let anyone in that far, that you would keep a part of yourself protected, untouchable, hidden behind enough spiritual sophistication that no one would notice the wall. Those agreements feel like protection. They feel like wisdom. They feel like the mature response to having been hurt. But they are, in their deepest nature, invisible walls around a heart that was designed for open country. Every relationship that hurt you also taught you, not as a platitude, not as the kind of thing we say to make pain more bearable, but as a genuine, architecturally real truth. The teaching was not that love is dangerous. The teaching embedded in every painful connection was about what love is not, so that when real love arrives, you will know the difference in your body before your mind has finished forming the thought. The karmic release asks you to look at every relationship that ended, every one that broke you open or wore you down or left you questioning your own perception, and say, with a grace that comes not from bypassing the pain, but from having fully moved through it, this was not abandonment, this was redirection. And when you can say that and genuinely mean it, when you can feel gratitude for the redirection rather than residual bitterness about the abandonment, the energetic chains from the past dissolve not as a metaphor, but as a literal shift in your vibrational field. What was holding you in repetition releases its grip. The groove in the record that kept skipping finally smooths out, and you step forward into a new relationship template, one that was written not by your wounds and the conclusions you drew from your pain, but by your soul and the love it carries as its original nature. The fourth key is the divine timing surrender. This is perhaps the most humbling key on the entire journey, because it requires something the human mind resists with every fiber of its trained, achievement-oriented being: trust without evidence. Not the kind of trust that feels easy because you have proof, the harder kind. The trust you maintain while standing in the dark with no visible light source, trusting that the sun still exists somewhere beyond the horizon. You have been waiting. Some of you have been waiting for what feels like an impossibly long time, long enough to have cycled through hope and despair more times than you can count, long enough to have rebuilt your hope from rubble more than once. You have watched people whose readiness seemed lesser than yours pair off with apparent ease. You have attended celebrations of love with a smile that held genuine joy for others and a private cost you carried home alone. You have gone home alone to a life that is beautiful in so many genuine ways, a life with meaning and purpose and moments of real grace, and still felt the presence of that specific absence, the seat at your table that remains empty, the voice you still reach for in the quiet of early morning. And in those moments of particular tenderness, the doubt arrives like an uninvited guest who knows exactly which room to go to. The fear that maybe you waited too long, that the window has closed, that the version of love your soul remembers is something you are only ever allowed to carry, never to live. But divine timing is not the universe's way of withholding from you what you deserve. It is not punishment dressed as patience. It is the universe's way of ensuring that what arrives to meet you does not overwhelm the vessel that receives it, because a love of the magnitude you are calling in requires a you of corresponding magnitude to hold it. The man whose frequency aligns with your soul is not late. He is being prepared in the same invisible ways you have been and are being prepared. He is having his own seasons of releasing, his own periods of recalibration, his own moments of quiet reckoning where he realizes what he is truly ready for and who he is truly seeking. And there is a divine coordination happening in the space between you and the field that connects two souls who have always been moving toward each other, that neither of you can fully perceive from where you stand inside your individual experience. Surrender does not mean giving up on love. It does not mean pretending you no longer want what you want. It means releasing your grip on how and when, and trusting with the deepest, most earned kind of faith that the soul contract written before your arrival in this particular body, in this particular time, has its own perfect intelligence. You do not have to force the door. You only have to stay aligned with the frequency of what you are calling in, and trust that what is aligned with you is also aligned toward you. The fifth key is the magnetic embodiment. This is where everything shifts. This is the key that feels the most invisible and produces the most profound external change. Because all the inner work, the worthiness unlock, the mirror recognition, the karmic release, the surrender to divine timing, all of it is preparation for this final interior revolution. The moment where you stop being someone who is hoping for divine love, waiting in the anteroom of your own life for the love to arrive before you begin, and you become someone who is radiating it. You become, in the most literal energetic sense, the love you have been seeking. Magnetism in sacred union is not about being more visually attractive or more spiritually advanced or more evolved in your practice. It is about coherence. It is the alignment between what lives in your interior world and what moves outward from you into every space you enter. When your inner world and your outer expression are in harmony, when you are genuinely living in the energy of the love you seek, rather than waiting in the hallway for permission to feel it, you become a frequency that is not difficult to find. You become unmissable at the level that matters most, the level of soul resonance. This is what the Arcturian transmissions on divine love speak of, with particular clarity, that your counterpart is not found through effort or strategy or proximity or timing alone. They are drawn the way a compass is drawn to true north, not by effort or argument or persuasion, but by the immutable nature of resonance itself. And they are drawn not by your perfection or your spiritual credentials, but by the unmistakable frequency of a heart that has come home to itself. When you embody the love you are calling in, when you treat yourself with the tenderness and attention you would offer to someone you deeply cherish, when you speak to yourself in the privacy of your own mind, with the gentleness you would offer to the person whose soul already knows you, you are not merely preparing for union, you are practicing it. You are training your entire energetic system to hold the frequency of what you are calling toward you. And the signal that radiates from a heart in that kind of practice, the signal of a soul that has chosen itself fully and loves from that wholeness, is heard across dimensions. It travels through the invisible in ways that defy ordinary comprehension and arrive in their own perfect time at the soul that was always meant to receive it. The sixth key is the separation wisdom. For those of you who have met this person, who have felt the recognition land in your chest like a returning wave, who have known in the deepest chamber of your being that this is the connection your soul came to this lifetime, specifically to find and then experience the devastating and bewildering confusion of watching it pull away, go quiet, become unavailable, retreat into distance or circumstance or their own unreadiness, this key is specifically for you. Separation on the twin flame path is not evidence that you were wrong about the connection. It is not the universe correcting a mistake or taking back something it offered prematurely. It is evidence that the connection is real enough to require both of you to be genuinely ready before it can be fully sustained. Not every love that is destined is immediately stable. Sometimes the intensity of a true soul recognition is like bringing two flames too close together. Before the chamber is prepared, it creates more heat than either person can hold in the early stages of their becoming. The separation is not the end. It is the expansion. It is the universe creating the precise conditions in which both people must grow into the fullness that will allow them to stand in the fire of this love without being destroyed by it. Conditions in which both people must become capable of the extraordinary thing they felt in those first moments of recognition. And the most difficult aspect of it is that you must do your growing without a guarantee. You must heal without confirmation that they are healing too. You must trust in the dark, with no flashlight, no map, no promise of arrival. But here is what the separation also gives you that is irreplaceable. It gives you undeniable clarity about what matters to you at the level of your soul. It burns away every distraction. It removes every relationship and circumstance that was filling space that needs to be empty for your true arrival. It shows you who you are when love is not immediately available, when you cannot hide behind the feeling of being chosen, and who you discover yourself to be in that fire, the depth, the resilience, the quality of love you find yourself capable of even in absence, is often precisely the person capable of sustaining the union when it returns. The separation does not weaken the bond. In the hands of two souls committed to their own becoming, it deepens it beyond what proximity alone could ever achieve. The seventh key, the final lock, is reunion readiness. And this key is the most sacred of all, because it cannot be manufactured or rushed or willed into existence by wanting. It opens only from the inside, from the place where all the other keys have already been turned, from the accumulated wisdom of the entire journey. You cannot will this door open with the force of your longing. You cannot trick it with spiritual bypassing or positive thinking that hasn't yet taken root in your cellular truth. The reunion does not happen when the timing is right according to external circumstances alone. It happens when you are genuinely ready on the inside, when you have become someone who can receive this love without being destabilized by it, without collapsing into it, without losing yourself in the magnitude of it. And you will know you are ready not because the waiting has become comfortable or because the longing has disappeared. It may never fully disappear, because longing of this kind is sacred. It is the soul reaching toward its purpose. But because you have integrated all of it, the worthiness you have stopped performing and started being, the mirror you are prepared to stand before without flinching, the karmic contracts you have released with grace rather than bitterness, the timing you have surrendered to with genuine trust rather than strategic patience, the love you have embodied rather than withheld until it was returned first, the wisdom you received in the fire of separation. When all of those keys have been turned, Something settles in the heart that is unlike anything that came before it. Not resignation, not the tired acceptance of someone who has simply stopped fighting. Settledness. A deep, grounded, luminous peace that rises from within rather than descending from circumstance. A peace that says, I know who I am. I know what I am here for. I am ready to receive this love without fear, not because I am fearless, but because I have learned to move forward in the presence of fear, and I trust what is coming enough to open my hands and release my grip on how it arrives. And here is the ultimate truth. This entire transmission has been moving toward the thing your soul may have needed to hear before it could fully release the weight it has been carrying, the weight of doubt and waiting and wondering whether the love it carries is matched somewhere in the world by a love that will recognize it. You were never forgotten by love. Love has been moving toward you this entire time, not as a passive, hopeful thing, but as an active, intelligent, purposeful force that knows exactly where you are and has been working in the invisible to coordinate what your visible world could not yet show you. Every relationship that did not work was not love failing you, it was love redirecting you, turning you from a path that would have led somewhere beautiful but not all the way to the place your soul was always headed. Every heartbreak that brought you to your knees was not cruelty dressed as fate. It was love removing something carefully, even if not gently, that would have blocked your view of the real thing when it arrived. Every moment of solitude that felt like abandonment was love creating the silence in which you could finally hear your own heart speaking clearly, undistracted by the noise of being everything to someone who was not meant to be your destination. You were not left behind. You were not overlooked. You were not too much for love to carry. You were being prepared steadily, precisely, with a patience and an intelligence that exceeds what any human calendar can contain for something that the earlier version of you could not have sustained without losing themselves entirely in its intensity. The man your soul already knows exists. He is not a fantasy woven from loneliness or wishful thinking. He is a frequency that is moving through this world, being shaped by his own journey, his own releasing, his own moments of arrival and departure and return. And you are the transmission he is searching for, even if neither of you can yet stand in the same room and fully articulate why. The recognition between you will not require explanation. It will not require convincing. It will not need the scaffolding of perfect circumstances or flawless timing or the approval of anyone else's understanding. When it arrives in the fullness of its divine timing, you will not wonder if it is real. You will not need to consult your fear to see if it agrees. You will simply know. And you will wonder, with the gentle amusement of a soul who has arrived somewhere beautiful after a long journey, how you ever doubted that it was always coming toward you. So tonight, before you sleep, when the world has grown quiet enough for you to hear yourself again, place your hand on your heart. Feel the warmth of it. Feel the steady rhythm that has kept faith with your existence through every season of this journey, through every night when the doubt was loudest and the hope was quietest. And say aloud, or even just in the sacred silence of your own breath, these words: I am worthy of a love that recognizes my soul. I release what was only ever meant to teach me. I trust the timing of this journey. I am ready. Because you are. You have always been. And the signal you send from that place of readiness, from that place of settled, embodied, wholehearted knowing is already moving through the invisible in ways you cannot yet see, but will one day look back on and understand, with a gratitude so deep it will bring you to your knees in the most beautiful way. The journey was not wasted, not one step of it, not one heartbreak, not one moment of solitude, not one night of wondering. Every single piece of it was leading you here, to this readiness, to this wholeness, to the frequency you are becoming, so that what is already moving toward you will recognize you when you finally stand face to face and come home. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real from your heart journey. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or love. This is not content. It is collective healing. Love multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated, do not keep it to yourself. Someone in your life is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance. You are not just watching. You are healing. This is your sacred space, and we are just getting started.